What we do here is go back.
Alrighty guys, so pretty much welcome back to a new video. As you guys seen in the last clip, I just ended up cleaning the engine bay with some wax and grease remover. I blew it out, made sure that there's no dust debris in it, because we are actually going to be adding sealer to the engine bay. Since we added the seam seal in the last video, pretty much I just want to get this whole engine bay sealed up and put a coat of paint onto the seam seal itself, because it only has a certain amount of time before you can you would have to resand it to be able to agitate it again or be able to put a base or whatever on it. So I'm going to go ahead and seal it up today and then let it cure overnight, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and start mixing up the paint ratio so that way I can actually start putting some base coat and clear coat into the engine bay. So I already have everything over here, so I'm going to go ahead and mix all this up. This is high build primer, but their house brand from One Stop Paint Shop right here in Colton. You can use this high build primer as a high build, regular primer, and also as a sealer. You just got to put some reducer on it. So they did help me out, and they did mark everything where I need to put everything into, so that way we can get a sealer type in there. And then depending on the texture, if it's good, then we can just start laying base coat, and if it needs some time, then I need to sand it down with at least 800 grit, so that we get rid of that texture type, and then from there we can start adding the base coat. So let's just go ahead and get it and get that high build mixed into some sealer. Alright guys, so I got my sealer mixed up already. It's in the gun down here for right now. I just had to make sure my toolbox was covered up so we can try to prevent anything from really spreading out. I'm going to go ahead and put a blanket down on the floor real quick, and then from there we're going to go ahead to get to spraying the sealer. Cross my fingers, everything comes out good, and that way we can continue making progress, guys, because that's all I want to do. So I got a blanket back there. Let me go ahead and throw that down real quick, and that way we can get started. Alrighty guys, so pretty much before you guys come at me, yes, I know I was not wearing a face respirator or a mask or any of that stuff. Unfortunately, one of my kids broke it. I'm not sure what happened or what. I left it in the laundry room since the last time I used it. I put it on and all of a sudden it's broken now. So I don't know who to blame. I'm not gonna blame anybody. I'm gonna blame myself because I left it out somewhere where it shouldn't have been. So unfortunately, I had to spray the engine bay, the sealer, without a respirator or without a face mask, and I'm fine. Like I said, I wasn't taking big breaths inside of it. Every time I needed to take a breath, I'd step back out of the garage and breathe, as you guys seen. But pretty much, sealer laid down really well for me doing this. I really can't wait to lay down the base coat. So what we are going to end up doing now is just let the sealer cure, harden, do what it needs to be, do what it needs to do. And then once it's all done, then we got to see whether we got to sand it down a little bit with the 800 grit, 900 grit, and that way we can smooth it out. And if we have to do that, that's fine. And that way we can start laying down base coat from there. But pretty much, we're gonna go ahead and let it cure, guys, and we'll pick up on it whenever it's time and whenever it's ready. I'm not gonna rush it. It might be tomorrow morning, it might be tonight. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna do all that because it is starting to get hot outside. I started doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's already gonna be 9 o'clock, so I don't want to jinx it and I don't want to rush it because I want the engine bay to come out at least as best as I possibly can. You get what I'm saying? I spent so much time and energy on it, frustrations and being pissed off and wanting to burn it. I don't want that to happen when we lay down the base. So I have the fan going, drying everything, and so we're just gonna let it be. So we'll pick up on it when it's time to see what the next step is. Alrighty guys, so pretty much car has been in the garage with the fan on and it's just been curing. So this, I'm gonna go ahead and still leave it for a little while longer. I came out here just to check on it, see how everything was turning out, and there's a few little issues, little rough spots. I mean, that needs to be taken care of. In this section down here, there's a little bit of roughness that you just need to sand down and get rid of. It's possibly overspray, what it really looks like, because I can easily just wipe it and it'll come off. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand it with 800 grit, so that way it'll be smooth, and then also attend to little spots where I ended up nicking it with the hose, unfortunately. So now I know I need to watch out with that because the hose actually hit it here and hit it right here on these little sections, but it is what it is. I'm fine with that. The grill piece will cover this right here, so you won't really see any of that. But sealer is put on to the engine bay, and now hopefully tomorrow morning we can get to laying down some base coat and clear coat. I really wanted to try to do it tonight, but by the time my wife gets here and I put my cars back in the driveway, I know I'll get overspray. So it'll give me time to actually set up the garage tonight and put all the tarps up and everything I need to put up, so that way we can get the base coat and the clear coat put on tomorrow morning, and we prevent any overspray from going to anything else over there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sand that off camera, and that way tomorrow morning we can start laying down some base coat. So I'm gonna make sure everything is set, so that way we can go ahead and do everything.